All right, guys, here we are. Legit versus replicated. Replication's on the left. The legit is to the right. Um, Boxes are pretty much spot on to each other. I will say this, as usual, the replicated box to the left is a little bit smaller to save on logistics and shipping. That's just kind of the way it goes. These are both the size 12. So I like to definitely keep these sizes against each other and the same size for obvious purposes. So nobody thinks I'm trying to get one over on one party versus the other, whatever. This is just a comparison. Buy what you want in life, guys. Ain't none of my business how you spend your money. And this is not to promote replications whatsoever. So here we go. We're taking a look at the lid. Under the lid, again, all white. Here's the front of the lid. Everything's spelled correctly. This is the replicated lid. And we'll knock that out the way. Obviously, as usual, they've mastered the internal trash bag paper as well. Glossy on one side, flat black on the other. We got the YDM sticker, and we got that little gold dot sticker you saw on there. Is like a Chinese. It's some Chinese uh, factory sticker. I'll be honest. Here is the retail lid. Again, pretty much the same. Now, what I noticed here about the trash bag paper inside or internal tissue paper is it's much more translucent. So you can see through it pretty much. And look, there's a Chinese stamp there on the retail. So apparently those come on retails and reps, guys. There you go. So no need to jump to conclusions here. No YDMO sticker in the retail, though. Again, these did release in 2018, so I'm not sure how Jordan Brand did everything. Here we go. Retail label. Nice, clean, crisp. I do not see a price tag on it. Let me know in the comments if Jordan released these without one or with or some pairs with it. Now the replication here, it came with a price tag on it. Obviously, box not in the greatest shape. Just kind of goes hand in hand. So here we go, guys. Let's get to it. Right here is the retail. Notice something quickly. The outsole is aging, so it's got a darker fog to it versus the replication to the right, which has got a nice icy clear look to it. So basically, it's brand new. It's factory made. So here we go. Let's get into it. Toe boxes, nearly identical. Nearly identical. We got a nice straight slope on the retail to the left and on the replication to the right. Doesn't go straight narrow down. It kind of protrudes out a little bit. But again, in a comparison, we can see this. Also, there's some aging there on the upper, as you see, of the retail to the left versus the brand new nice white to the right. Laces are pretty much identical. The letters are identical there on the strip going across the tongue with the Jumpman. Toe boxes are near identical. I will say this immediately. They've been making 11s very well for a long time. Definitely a scammable pair. Look at the Jumpman on the retail to the left. What's that on his leg? I have no idea what's protruding out. To the right, we got a Jumpman on the replication, and it obviously is cleaner. Having a look at the 45s, they got that down, and so forth. Correct double stitching for the number 4 and 5. Again, the replication is going to be a bit overscaled, so the shoe is basically a little bit bigger. You see here what that outsole looks like on the retail to the left versus to the right, freshly made pair. Shanks look near identical as well. The replication shank is going to be a lot more glossier and shinier because it's newer. It was just made versus the retail to the left, which was 2018. So if a lot of minor details on a pair you're looking to buy out in the streets is, the shoe's basically looking brand new, doesn't look aged in any areas at all. I'm not saying it's fake, but I would question it. Here we go, just looking at the medial here. Again, near identical. Looks like they got the height of the patent leather correct as well. Both of the patent leathers feel the same as well when I have them in my hands here. Wow. Yeah. This is scary, guys. Obviously, you see the aged outsole protruding up on the toe box there. And on the replication, of course, it's completely clear. Again, it's a brand new replication. So these are definitely scammable pairs, guys, and be careful. Watch these videos from me and other reviewers out there to help you out to determine what you need to determine. Here, right, you see the white. It's more of kind of like an off-white on the retail to the right on the upper versus the left. It's just more of a bright white. Here we go on the outsoles again. I mean, a lot of this is self-explanatory. You don't even need me to necessarily call things out, but it's so close. It's hard for me to, really nitpick here. It's really hard to nitpick here. Again, we're looking at the toes. Again, nearly identical. Nearly identical. You would probably need that retail next to it to confirm if you have a replication in your hand or not. Nearly identical. Here we go, looking at the upper. I mean, it's again, it's hard to nitpick. It's really hard. The smell, the replicated smell, didn't smell like anything, in all honesty, as well. So another thing to be careful of. You can't always go off by smell. It didn't have like off smell to it. The retail's aged, so it had a smell to it. I ain't gonna lie. It had a smell to it. But again, near identical. Colors are much more vibrant and pop a lot more on the rep, because for like the fourth time I'm going to say it, this is freshly made. The stitching on the actual patent leather as well on both of them are clean. Right now I'm feeling the mesh. Now I will say this, the mesh on the retail is a stronger mesh. It's a bit tighter, stiffer. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but that's what's going on there. And here we're going to go ahead and compare the internal shoe trees. Right is retail, left is the replication. Again, super close. I'll be honest, you could put the replicated shoe trees in the retail pair and they're going to pass. It's so hard. I mean, look at these. I mean, there might be a shade of a difference in the color of this, but, it's so hard, guys. But they both feel the same. They're both obviously plastic. The Jumpmans are identical. There's kind of like a more of a glittery effect on the replication to the left. And I'm just looking under here to see if there's something that's definitely providing a form of a reference or a difference here. And I'm not seeing it. I see the control numbers on it. I see the little imprinted circle. Yeah, guys. It's up to you if you want to spend, $500 to $600 on these retail pairs of these shoes at this point, especially aged. But you've made it to the end of the video. Thanks for checking it out with me. Like I said, this was actually not the easiest comparison because they keep updating these Concords over and over. People keep wanting them. They're all over eBay. People keep requesting them and so forth. So be careful out there. eBay even still, definitely, I've seen fakes on there. Not every shoe has to go to the authentication process. It depends on how the seller titles it. So if it doesn't have to get authenticated, I'd be very wary on conducting a transaction with that seller. With that, thanks for hanging out with your boy Legit vs Replicated. We out.